One of the best things about working in OnlyFans management is the vibrant, enthusiastic, talented community that has sprung up on Telegram, various groups, communities, led by a host of interesting characters, where we all get together, spend time, exchange ideas, work on strategies together, network, and ultimately grow as an industry. This community doesn't exist in other industries. This is unique to OnlyFans management, but it is one of the reasons why the industry has grown so quickly in such a short period of time. However, in this video, I'm going to take a unique approach to talking about the community, and I'm going to tell you how, if you wanted to, you could destroy it, how you could tear it to pieces and bring the industry down, along with the community. Why am I doing this? I don't know, because it's clever, I guess. Anyway, Yalapapi, simphunter.com. Be sure to check it out. Link in the description. On with the video. Now, like I said in the introduction, the Telegram community is unique to OnlyFans management in that other industries do not have anything like this. There are no other industries where there's tens of thousands of people on Telegram communicating, talking, working things out together, bullshitting, and growing together. And yes, okay, there's some beef here and there, but like for the most part, everybody pretty much gets along, right? Yeah, okay, you don't like this guy, he doesn't like you, whatever. But like even for the most part, everyone kind of is at least tolerating each other, not actively trying to fucking bring each other down. Everybody tolerates each other. We're all in this together. And I promise you, even if you don't like this guy or you don't like that guy, 20 years from now, when that person is no longer in the business, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, oh, I kind of miss that guy. He was a dickhead, but I kind of miss him. I liked him. So the Telegram community is great for business. Okay. Amazing for business. You are able to network with people. You're able to learn faster. You're able to ask questions about a business model that like doesn't exist on Google, doesn't exist on ChatGPT. Yes, you can get some answers on YouTube, but 99 times out of 100, it's from some fucking guru who just clickbaited you with a title, isn't actually offering any value, and is just trying to sell you his course. There are exceptions, yes, but that's the case for most of it. But you can go on Telegram, ask a question, and people that have nothing to gain will answer that question for you just because they're bored or just because they empathize with your current state and are interested in bringing you up a little bit. So how would we destroy this community? Well, step one is you would find a way for the groups to no longer be moderated. So what do I mean by that? The Telegram groups that exist, you know, the big ones, you know which ones they are. They all have moderators, even the shitty groups, right? Even the shitty small groups run by fucking dickheads. They still moderate those groups. There's still some sense of order that is maintained in those groups. Most Telegram groups that are run by, let's call them Telegram natives, let's say, people who are active on Telegram, people who take their groups seriously. The groups that are run by people who take their group seriously are moderated. And there are groups that are big, that are not run seriously or not run by people that necessarily care too much about the group. And those are virtually unmoderated. Fucking ads everywhere, spam, scammers posting shit. And it's just like nobody cares, you know? Now, the groups that are moderated, the groups that have one person, the owner or, you know, moderators or a team of people that are like keeping an eye on the group to make sure that there's no scammers, you know, common scams are spotted and the people are removed quickly. You know, that kind of thing. Like there's no necessarily like hostile behavior going on in there. There's nobody in there abusing members. There's nobody in there posting something inappropriate. If you take that out, the fucking community will deteriorate fucking like that. Because and the reason why the groups are moderated is because the people that run the groups want them to be a clean oasis for newbies or experienced people to come, talk to each other, network, ask questions, get answers to their problems, and have it be, there's a lot of benefits to having a group of people that you can go to and talk to. And I mean, I feel like desire for human connection is kind of this like, it's almost seen as a sign of weakness these days. It's like, oh, you want human connection? What a loser. You crave fucking contact with other people? Oh my God, what are you, gay? And like, I kind of get that, I see where that's coming from. But it's just silly because it's a very human need. And like, you need other people around you to reach your full potential. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how ambitious you are. If you're just doing it by yourself, it's going to be way harder for you than if you have people around you who are also doing it. So the first step to destroying the Telegram community would be to somehow stop the moderation on all the Telegram groups. Now, obviously, it's going to be very hard to do because like you have to somehow get inside the head of all of the Telegram group owners and have them not want to moderate their groups anymore. Good luck with that, because like group owners take their shit very seriously these days. And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So that would be the first step. The second step would be to stop requiring professional behavior in the groups. Now, there are some groups, like one of the things, and okay, so I'll give you guys a little history lesson here, right? There's the Federation. Right now you have, let's call them super networks, right? There's really two that I can think of. One of them is run by one person, which is BTZ. He's got his, and it's really like, so you have the Fed, right? Our Fed, which is like, I don't want to say the United Nations because the United Nations sucks, but it's like a lot of groups from different people, different backgrounds that all run, that all work together more or less, right? And then you have BTZ, who's like one guy, and he's like the emperor, and he's got all his own properties that are all run, like Walmart, right? Like the same way. So both of them require professional behavior. In the early days, when the Fed started, right, there was a lot of discussion as to who we would let in and who we would keep out and who we would ban. Personally, I was of the opinion, I'm very lenient. Okay. I don't know people. I feel like people think I'm not lenient. I'm extremely lenient compared to some other people. Honestly, compared to most other people, I'm very lenient. I'm very tolerant of like people, let's say, who act inappropriately or who say racist things or who behave in a way that in another industry, they'd be blackballed immediately. I'm very tolerant of that. I don't like censorship. I understand why people act like that on the internet, and I think there is a place for that on Telegram, somewhere in the network, somewhere in the super networks, in one of them, or even outside of them. There is a place for that. So anyway, the point is that if every group, right, if every group stopped requiring professional behavior, even in the shitty groups, you still, well, unless they're unmoderated, you still have to act somewhat professionally. You still have to like, talk about OFM like a little bit. Like that has to be, you can't be a complete unprofessional dickhead. I'm trying to think of like the worst groups that I can think of. And like, even in those ones, you still got to be professional. If they all just turned into a major spam fest, the people posting fucking, drops for like their new shitcoin token and spamming like naked pictures of Arab women or like whatever the fuck these people post, then it would turn into a shit show. The third way to destroy the Telegram community, this is a big one, would be to instigate beef between group owners and other big names in the business. Now, one of the things, anytime you have a lot of people in one place, you're going to have cliques, you're going to have factions, you're going to have people who like this person or don't like that person. It's a fucking popularity contest. It is what it is. We say it's not, but it is. Let's be honest. And I think the worst thing that can happen, and this is why I really don't like this kind of thing. And I'm a little worried that OFM will eventually head into this because it happens with like fitness. But maybe that's a long ways off. But anyway, when you have beef between big people like this, I think it does a great job of forcing people to take a side. And I mean, just look at American politics if you want to see, the results of that. Like, America's in a fucking terrible place right now because there are a lot of people that are actively working to split the American community. I don't want to get all conspiracy on you, but like, I mean, there's a reason why DEI and all this fucking bullshit is so prevalent in the media. It's because the people who are in charge, they want American, people to be divided on specific issues so that they'll fight amongst themselves over dumb bullshit. Oh, trannies in sports. Oh my God, that's so bad. They fight over dumb bullshit like that instead of the real problem, which is, the fucking Federal Reserve and the people that run that printing a bunch of money and stealing it through taxation. That's the real problem. They don't want us focusing on and fucking, tapping all our phones and shit. So they want us focusing on dumb bullshit like, oh, they put the rainbow flag at the White House, as opposed to, they printed $50 gazillion last year and spent it on dumb bullshit, and they're letting China take over and all this. Like I said, I don't want to get into politics, but that's what they're doing, and they're creating beef. You see this sometimes with OFM. It pops up like from time to time, where you'll see like people go after bigger names and will talk shit. You'll never see me do it. Never, ever see me do it. I have dirt, I know dirt, but like, I'll never air that dirty laundry. I rarely even talk about it in a private chat. Because it's just bad. It would be bad for everybody, which would be bad for me. I like the community thing. I've gained so much from the community. The bigger the community is, the healthier the community is, even the shitty groups. Even the groups that are full of people that probably talk shit about me, they're still good for the community. I'm still glad they exist. You know what I mean? I'm still glad those people are in there. Even if they don't like me, even if they talk shit, even if they actually try to harm me actively, it's still good that they're there, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird. But when you have like serious beef, it's going to split things, force people to take a side, and I guess when I say beef, I mean like acknowledged beef between two people. If one person talks shit about somebody else, but the other person ignores them and doesn't talk about it and pretends like it doesn't exist, then it's not really beef. It's really just like somebody complaining. That's fine. People can complain. It's all good. But I feel like, if Marcus Hustle, well, I don't know, who cares? Like, does anybody care about Marcus Hustle? He's just popular on social media. He's just popular with the normal people. Anyway, I don't want to pick any names, but like, if people were actively, openly fucking fighting with each other about shit, it would get really bad. Number 4 would be allowing criminal activity. Now, when I say criminal activity, I don't mean model scamming. I mean, I guess I do. Model scams, traffic scams, any kind of scams, financial fraud, carding, stuff like that, selling fake credit card numbers. Like, it's a black hat business. Fine. We all break the rules. But there's a difference between selling Instagram accounts, it's not against the law, and selling fucking social security numbers and credit card numbers of people in America, right? If you allow criminal activity on Telegram, then it's going to attract the wrong type of person, number one. And the more criminal like if, and okay, at the end of the day, any person with bad intentions can just go and make another Telegram account and start over, right? That doesn't mean that you should not enforce punishment, right? You still have to do what you can to ban those accounts, to FedBan them, to remove them from the community, so that you force the scammer or whatever, the criminal, to jump through the hoop to fucking do his thing. If you don't do that, it's like the equivalent of like, okay, you can go rob a liquor store, but like if the police come, you have to run. If the police weren't going to come, you wouldn't have to run. You could fucking go in, rob it much more casually. You'd rob it more often. You'd fucking become more brazen in your attacks, more bold. And you have to crack down on criminal activity. And really what I mean by criminal activity is stuff that like, you know, the FBI would come after you for. Really, financial fraud is the biggest thing. And by financial fraud, I mean, and the only reason I'm bringing this up, I'm not saying that anybody in OFM does this, but like, it's adjacent to the type of people who would do OFM. It's like, it's not far from that, right? Like gaming social media sites and buying accounts and setting up all these fucking farms and shit. That's not very far from like the guy who is fucking spreading malware and, you know, and that's not very far from like the guy who like has lists of fucking social security numbers that he's selling, right? You're not that far removed from it. So you have to be very careful of what you allow. Again, like I said, financial fraud is probably the biggest one. And you got to nip that shit in the bud. So anyway, imagine for a second, if you will, completely unmoderated Telegram groups, no professional behavior, everybody's beefing with each other. And there's fucking people selling, you know, all kinds of shit they shouldn't be selling, illegal activity going on. That would destroy the Telegram community. People would leave. They'd be like, fuck this. This is a dangerous place. And only your most unhinged and crazy fucking cowboys would want to get involved. And I don't think that's necessarily good. I think we need more normies, because normies will bring with them the legit white hat experience that I think will help to mature the industry and bring it forward ultimately to more success. Cheers to that. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.